Okay, ready for the clap? Go.
Well, why don't we just start off by, introducing yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Tasmania, I'm 17 and a year 12 student. I'm really passionate about arts, film and writing and also human rights.
She's also been recently selected as a youth ambassador for the World Literacy Foundation. It's a global organisation that was actually founded in Melbourne back in 2003, with the goal of boosting global literacy skills and getting books into the hands of young people who need them most.
I've learned that 750 million people in the world are illiterate, which is about 1 in 10, which is a lot more than I thought it was.
And while Australia has relatively good levels of literacy, around 14% of the population can only understand short, basic texts, and more than 40% have literacy levels below what is considered enough to get by in everyday life. It's why the World Literacy Foundation has advocates like Tasmania.
So basically we're about advocating for people who can't read and write around the world, as well as engaging in our local community to just bring literacy to people.
And so what does your community need?
My school does not have a library, so I'm looking at doing a book swap / book drive with my classmates. I'm looking to get people to bring in their favourite books and then write a review for the next person so they can see what the book might be about.
I also want to know, how did you actually get this position?
I've been looking for ways to build my skills, build my confidence in literacy, because one day I'd really like to have a career in it. So this opportunity happened to come up while I was looking for volunteer opportunities. So I thought, why not? And then I found out I got it. So I was really excited.
Tasmania loves reading and writing and recently won a big poetry competition.
I peer up my window and the moon is high.
So last year I entered a competition for Netflix for the season 2 release of Wednesday. Basically you had to prove why you were the biggest outcast in Australia. So I wrote a short poem and I ended up being one of the winners out of 30 and the only one from South Australia. I got to go to Sydney and I got to meet some of the main cast at the event.
Did you meet Wednesday?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Who was your favourite?
Well, I actually really liked Hunter Doohan the most because he's the scary monster, but he's actually really lovely in real life.
Like many people, Tasmania worries that fewer young people are reading. This study from 2024 found that almost 3 in 10 high schoolers don't read in their spare time.
It's definitely due to screens. I've noticed a lot of my friends are always on their technology, scrolling through social media, playing video games. And I guess the internet is a lot more addictive than a book, so people are going to choose what they like.
Have you experienced that yourself, the addictiveness?
I definitely have. I noticed I was always scrolling, I was having negative thoughts, I was getting annoyed with what I was seeing online because there is so much misinformation of people just hearing things and then spreading it to where people don't know how to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake.
Yeah, and I guess why is all of this work so important to you? Why is, access to literacy education, why is reading, why is all of this, so important?
It's important to me because I love reading and it's part of daily life, not just as a hobby, but for everything we do. Going to the shops to buy groceries, reading emails, writing essays for school. Pretty much everything we do in day-to-day life involves reading and writing. I've loved reading since I was quite young, about 4 years old. You'll always find me reading a book. I get to see the world from different perspectives. I get to learn about important issues that normally I wouldn't get to see or how things might feel for other people.
If you had any advice for other, people your age, what would it be?
I would say just read more. I think start small. Start with reading a few pages or 1 chapter just to get into it, see how you feel. Go with what you're interested in. If you like fantasy and magic, go into that. If you like science, and go into science fiction. If you like knowing more about the world, go into non-fiction.
And what's your favourite?
I really like fantasy and sci-fi.